Happy spring. My name is Lorrie. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. Today, welcome to Blabfest, where we sit, talk about things that we are working on and doing and getting some things done. I have 8 topics for us again today. So let's get started. Topic number 1, changing out wall hangings. Now I had this lovely little wall hanging up in February, timely topic, and it is time to change it to something springy. So years ago, we did make a wall hanging for whoever's name you got in the luck of the draw in a group that I was in, and this was the wall hanging that I received. It is adorable. I did not make any of this, but it just screams spring with all those little cute pastel colors. It is beautiful and perfect for a month. So here is my change out of wall hangings for my sewing room door. Topic number 2. I'm going to call this topic progress. I did get some of the blocks, the painted embellished blocks from a couple weeks ago done. Here is the applique block. Here is the block that has only embroidery. Here is the block that only has beads. They turned out fabulously. Now I have one more left to go, one that combines embroidery and beads, and I haven't been working on it because I have been working on another little project in the evening. I have been working on, remember I showed you this embroidery pattern, and I showed you this wash away paper stabilizer that you could run through the printer. Well, I've been working on it. My friends were here on Monday, and they were all very curious as to, did it add extra thickness? It does a little tiny bit. And if you buy the sheets that go through your printer, it is more expensive than, you can buy this on the roll too. I didn't see it on the roll. I was looking for it to go through the printer. So right now, and I haven't washed it yet, I'm getting closer to being done, but I am very pleased with embroidery. Is one of those things that I put off for a long time, doing hand embroidery, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. So it makes it more enjoyable. So handwork in general, applique, all those kind of things, the more you do it, the more you'll enjoy it, because the better you are at it just naturally. Just a thought for you for topic number 3, embroidery. Hopefully by next week I'll have it ready to wash and we can see if it lives up to its hype. Topic number 4. For Scarlett's birthday in February, the day after Valentine's Day, I took her a little quilt with, it had fuzzy on the back, not minky, but fuzzy. And it was the first quilt I've ever made that way, and she loved it, but I didn't snap a picture. So I asked my daughter-in-law when I left if she would snap a picture. The other day she finally remembered to send me pictures. So here are a few pictures with Scarlett all cuddled up in her quilt. She is so cute, and she is enjoying that quilt already. Thank you, Tracy. Topic number 5. Right here behind me, the weather blocks. I have finally, hallelujah, I have finally finished the month of July. These were the last 10 blocks that needed to be done. And if you look carefully, there are a couple. Here's an example. This pair had the same statistics for choosing colors, and this pair had the same statistics for choosing colors, but just a little bit of variation in fabric makes them look completely different, even though they are the same numbers for temperatures and wind and those sorts of things. It's amazing. But I do know that the month of July had a lot of days that were in the 80s, because that orange outside ring on these blocks, 80s. And the points on the inside, that was the low temperature. So I know that there were lots of 70s and 60s for low temperatures overnights. So I am glad next time, maybe next week, I'll have the month of July assembled and we can look at it all together. Maybe. I do love the bright, bold colors of these blocks. Here's a couple of my favorites out of the 10. Topic number 6, inspirations. Now I know that fabric designers like Calf Fassett, he makes fabric patterns out of anything he sees. Oranges become big dots. Flowers become huge, and he adds neon colors. So inspirations can come from anywhere. I know that I have pictures of several hotel hallway carpets that have swirls and fleur-de-lis and are interesting somewhere in my film roll and my photo book. So while I was working in the garden yesterday, I came across this Dollar Tree rusted, it's not really a pinwheel, but it does spin, kinda, this butterfly. I am inspired by this butterfly. Wait till you see what I do with it on Monday. I have an idea of something to do with a butterfly. Inspiration. Where do you get yours? Please share where you get your inspiration for a block or a quilt or a project, a wall hanging, anything. Inspiration. What clicks things in your brain? Number 7. I have 2 more of those blocks to share. I'm getting down toward the bottom of the pile, probably only a few more weeks of big blocks to share. And then I need to really put some together so that I can have that Victorian round robin block quilt put together and usable. But let's cut away to the footage of my 2 more blocks and take a close look. I think the blocks today are especially elegant. They are both fancy fabric based. None of this base fabric is cotton. It's velvet, it's a linen, it's silk, it's brocade, everything is fancy. So this again was part of an exchange. And let's go through all the things that were added to this fancy block. We have gold rickrack and a nice fringed gold trim and a spangled, beaded, sparkly trim that was added. A ribbon that has pearls embedded in 3 rows, a bigger one down the center with some fancy gold in it. A nice green trim. Sequins. Somebody did embroidery and added a little gold charm. Some more embroidery right on top. Let's see if that one doesn't go through, so it was sewn on top. This one, a lovely big big brass buttons. So fancy. And then machine embroidery here. Some fancy swirls. And a snowflake or flower looking embroidery right on top. That sort of goes with the pattern in the brocade. And also this piece of lace that is under. Now this is free. I'll have to sew that down because that's a big piece to be free there. So very cute, very elegant, very nice to the touch. The next one is also an elegant block. This one is brighter, but it also is made from not cottons. We have a baby fine corduroy and some linens and silks, some textured silks, lining fabric. And this one doesn't have as much added to it, but it does have butterflies, which is my theme for Monday. So machine embroidered butterfly, and that one was embroidered right on it. And a hand embroidered butterfly with flowers. I love this, it's so cute. And then some more machine embroidered flowers. And these were part of the fabric. These daisies were part of the fabric. And then some charms that are sewn on. Glittery, bright, shiny charms. And then some hand embroidery with a pearl in the center, and some fancy stitches from a machine in silver thread. Oh, and some ribbon and some lace. This one is sewn down, and some more ribbon. So this one has more room for embellishing on it. But fancy schmancy, no cotton fabrics here, except on the base for the back. And it looks like shirting material. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the eye candy for today. And number 8, viewer contribution. I have 2 people that contributed good stuff. Anne made the suggestion that starching fabrics before making the Drunkard's Path block made it easier to cut those curves and not have so much stretch. I never even thought about that, but long time ago, probably a couple years ago, a lady at our 4-H quilt camp suggested that you starch things before you cut little shapes or odd shapes, and I was like, oh, that is game-changing. Absolutely game-changing. So, and then she gave us the recipe for what she calls West Virginia Quilters Moonshine, and I know I've shared that recipe with you before, with a gallon of water and a little bit of starch and some vodka, liquid starch and vodka, and it does hold up pretty well. And she said she had never had any go bad. That was because she didn't leave any in a frozen cabin over the winter. If it freezes, it does get kind of gooey. But other than that, I've had some bottles last for 2 years, and I used it up before it could go bad. And it does not flake off like some of the other heavy starches that are in a spray can. So that's a good thing, especially if you live in the South and things are drawn to starch when you put it on fabric. Just saying. But I digress. So Anne and the starch tip, that is fantastic. And here again is Anne's Drunkard's Path block. I know you've seen this several times. And Anne is also working on Pat Sloan's Grandma's Kitchen sew along. I'm working on it, but I'm just a little bit behind. So I love Anne's bright color choices. And she, I notice, has changed some of the blocks from the sew along too. Diana did a nice drunkard's path variation. I love her swirly fabrics. This looks fantastic. Nice color choices. Beautiful work, Diana. She also sent a picture of a candle wicking kit. This was an old-time home deco type kit. She said it originally cost 59 cents. Still had the price tag on it. And it basically is making French knots on a patterned piece, that's a pre-printed fabric piece, to make a design. And I see that one of these has oak leaves. This is fantastic. Diana also sent pictures of her last 3 patriotic squares. And I know I designed this quilt, but I do not remember the names of the quilt. I know, oh, this one is Jubilee. Wait, just popped right in there. I love the little fussy cut dog you have in the middle of Jubilee. And this one is called 4 Candidates. Originally, the pattern was labeled 4 Clowns, but I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings or take any flack about calling a block in the middle of a patriotic quilt 4 Clowns. Yeah, I know, I should be ashamed of myself, but I'm really not. And the last one, I don't remember the name of it. It might have been President's Choice. I don't remember, but I love how she put the star right in the very center. It draws your eye right into the middle. Great job, Diana, and thank you for sharing all of those good quilts. Now to finish up today, and I would like to share some signs of spring that are near me. These little straw flowers in my yard, and they are teeny tiny. And the forsythia is slowly starting to open. 1 or 2 more warm days and it will be popped out and full. Mine is a couple days behind my neighbor's. Theirs already is full. And the daffodils are starting to bloom all around our property. So spring is here. Oh, and there's a big fat robin that keeps teasing the dog because it peeps its way up. And the dog is just starting to notice birds. And so she gallops out toward it on her little leash. And the bird flies away 10 feet and teases her some more. Evil, evil bird. Nugget thinks robins are the devil. Just saying. Nugget's got a thing for birds. Pathological hatred for birds. Anyway, I will see you on Monday with an inspiration from that rusty old butterfly from the Dollar Tree. Talk to you then.